I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Gary, the roll call, please.
Mr. Cordray?
Here.
Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mr. Sousa?
Here. All right, if you would please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, make a motion to approve of the clerk's journal and accept the tapes as the official minutes of the June 3rd, 2020 Township Trustee meeting.
Second.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes. Motion to approve check numbers 81580 through 81586.
Second.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Motion to approve check numbers 81587 through 81627.
Second.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes. It's right on the checks. All right, next item on the agenda are public comments. Mr. Centers, may I submit public comments via email this evening?
No, sir, they didn't.
All right. At this time, I'll make a motion to open the floor up to public comments at 6:31 p.m.
Second.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes. All right. And then seeing none, I will close public comments at 6:31 p.m. All right. Next item on the agenda is human resource items. Ms. Krieger.
Good evening, gentlemen. I would like to request a motion to off-roll seasonal park crew member Mr. Alan Grapevine, effective June 9th, 2020, and Mr. Christopher Walker, effective June 9th, 2020. He had submitted a formal resignation to the Public Works Director, Kenny Hickey.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Next, gentlemen, we request a motion to move Josh Meyer from full-time firefighter paramedic to lieutenant, effective June 28th, 2020, and Mr. Justin Cormany from lieutenant to captain, effective June 28th, 2020. And we will have a formal ceremony for these gentlemen at a later date.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Finally, gentlemen, I request a motion to allow Public Works Director Kenny Hickey to post a vacant mechanic's position effective June 17th, 2020 until this position is filled.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, next item on the agenda we have is new business this evening. We do have one resolution to consider. This is Resolution 20-0617, a resolution adopting the annual tax budget. This resolution is just based on projections that each department head and administrator makes based on our tax revenue that comes in each year. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Centers, just kind of give us a little bit more detail and background.
Yes, sir. So we have 15 budgets, as you know. I'll just kind of go through each one, where we're at in the red or black, and how many months reserved. Anything in the red, I'll explain the reasoning and then answer any questions. So their general fund will be in the red, $56,491.20. The reason for that is the $150,000 that we have budgeted for the construction at Mountain Park. That'll be the physical EPA work. So all of 2020 this year, they've been doing the engineering work, which you budgeted $80,000 for. This remaining $150,000 will be for 2021, and that'll be the physical work to be done. We don't actually expect to use $150,000. Our Public Works Department will be doing some of the work. However, the EPA, to keep our timeline, needed to see that money budgeted. And in the general fund, we still have 15 months reserve left. Our motor vehicle is in the black, $6,400. Gas tax is in the black, $12,193.05. Road and bridge fund is in the black, $112,425. And that's, we still have 17 months of reserve left. The reason for that higher amount of reserve, we have budgeted to purchase equipment, as we displayed in the work session in January. However, with the COVID, we didn't want to budget that now. We want to be a little cautious with moving forward. So the capital budget towards the end of the year, you'll probably see that budgeted in there if that's the direction you guys want to go. The cemetery, we're in the red, $16,632.64. There's no real good reason for that. Our cemetery purchases have been down during the first quarter. If it hasn't been a pressing issue, we've actually requested that when we were self-quarantining at home, that if it's not urgent, if they could wait to purchase those plots or go out and select them, just for the coronavirus protocol we had in place. And for that reason, we had a decrease there, and we project based off those. Hopefully we see an uptick in that. The only main expenses are cemetery mowing, and if you remember the past couple of years, we've gone through a couple different contracts for different reasons. This year we have a contract that we've been very pleased with.
Is that the reason? I noticed that the expenditures we did budget up, like, I think double for the cemetery for 2021. Is that the reason why, just to kind of build in?
So we didn't, this contract isn't charging more, it's that we've extended the mowing season on both ends. So if you remember the last couple of years, we've reappropriated that cemetery mowing because it ended up starting a little earlier and going into October, where we cut in September. This year we've actually budgeted what's probably going to be an additional month on both sides. The police department, they're in the black, $366,410.22 with 10 months of reserve. This, of course, was levy funds on top of the new hiring of the officers. The drug law enforcement fund is money in, money out, so it carries a zero balance. The permissives in the black, $1,000. Law enforcement trust fund is money in, money out, so it carries a zero balance. The fire and EMS is in the black, $132,874.27 with 10 months of reserve. EMS billing is in the red, $34,774.39. This again, during the COVID pandemic at the beginning of the year, our more routine runs dropped. People were a little more precautious about calling, and with that we projected based on that first quarter. Another thing is your Medicare Medi-Cal that you increased the rates of. We expect that to bring in an additional roughly $8,000. That's not budgeted in here. So as you know, we budget very conservatively with our revenues less and expenditures higher. So we don't expect that to be as drastic, but that's what we're going to budget. So we do expect that to be more flat. The lighting district, lighting district, again, that's money in, money out with a zero balance. Road levy funds are in the black, $21,578.40. All of the road levy money goes directly toward road resurfacing, and that's just a little buffer left over that we didn't have to put in, so that'll be rolling in next year. The new building bond fund and fire station 76 capital project fund are merely the house payments for this building and the new fire station. So we appropriate money in, make the house payment. So you'll always see only an expense in there. And that is the 15 budgets, if you have any questions.
Josh, you guys have any questions?
I don't right now.
Just one comment or question came over. We looked into opportunity of refinancing the bond debt from the fire station in the current rate environment. Is that, it's not totally related to this, but is that gone anywhere? Is there?
No, we've had those discussions, but it hasn't moved to where it's anything substantial right now.
Gotcha.
And of course, with the capital budget towards the end of the year, we'll have a lot more work sessions where you guys will do input. This is merely to submit to Auditor Nolan based on his revenues and what we plan on estimating our expenditures to be.
Yeah, I mean, the only comments I have is obviously just looking at it, we see the increase in revenues and expenditures on the police side as we've got new levy money and we're getting officers to the force. And on the fire department side, actually, the expenditures are going down from 2020, and obviously there we're not building a fire station next year, so everything looks right in line, actually, after reviewing everything. I think it's definitely a good blueprint to start with as we look towards the end of the year with our capital budget.
Yeah, and just the only other comment I would add is reiterate what we discussed earlier, but the one that would jump off the paper at a resident is the general fund. But we'll get those plans later in the year and can figure out what we can do in-house and what we'll actually have to pay contractors for, and more than likely that number will get softened some. So
yeah, and had we not budgeted that $150,000 for the Mounts Park EPA work, we would actually be in the black, $93,508. So the general fund's balanced very well. That capital expense is for what you guys projected. Mr. Weber, do you have any questions either? or-
Yeah, I just wanted to comment, I think, if I could, Mr. Chairman, I think when you said that, in the red, that's just a comparison of projected revenue versus projected expenses, and doesn't take into account the carryover balance.
That's correct.
Right, so I mean, it's not, the money's there,
Yeah,
it's just a matter of, just a comparison of revenue versus expenses, so.
correct. Yeah,
Good
thanks
shape
for,
is the point, yeah.
yep, every major fund we have has a healthy unencumbered.
Right,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
All right, if there are no further questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve resolution resolution 20-0617, resolution adopting the annual tax budget.
Second.
Mr. Souza,
Yes.
Mr. Cordray,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
All right. Gentlemen, next item on the agenda that we have this evening is work session item. This is with regards to the fire engine 77 replacement, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chief Reese. Just want to, or Mr. Centers, whichever, just kind of give us a brief overview where we're at.
Okay, so, when we had the fire truck in for service, they kind of came back with two options. The first option is, they'll replace the damaged pieces. We'd get a new chassis with a warranty, remove and install the original pump with no warranty, remove and repair the body damage, which would be a reinstall, and remove and install the damaged components. That would be covered under insurance.
Right, except for a $500 deductible.
Except our $500 deductible. So essentially what that would mean is we'd get a brand new chassis and put our roughly 10-year-old pump into that truck. So there would be maintenance concerns down the road to include in 5 or 10 years when the pumps start to wear, your chassis will still be in good shape. So there would be that little bit of dichotomy there. However, the positive would be it would be completely covered by insurance. Option 2 would be a completely new fire engine, but we would pay the difference. So insurance would cover up to the cost of repair, which is $458,305.47. We would pay the difference of roughly $140,000 to $170,000 and get a new truck. That new truck would carry more water because we would get a bigger tank. A bigger pump tank. New complete warranty, complete new chassis, body, and pump with a 20 to 25 year life service, fewer maintenance concerns, and the cost estimate would be based on similar specs of the truck and process, which again would be $140,000 to $170,000 would be the difference we would pay for a new fire engine. So you have the complete breakdown of options in front of you, and the chief and I need a direction so we can let the insurance company know which way we go. Either way, we do also have the option to get a rental vehicle covered, so we would get that engine covered and rental fees to us for the amount of time that it would take to repair a truck. So if you move on option 2, we would still roughly 9 months have a rental, which we would be paying for.
Yeah, I'll be honest, after reviewing this, I really like option 2. To me, it seems like it's really a no-brainer to go ahead and get a brand new unit that will last us the next 20, 25 years at a cost of less than $200,000 at the township, given that we'd likely be replacing this in 10 years or less, even with these repairs, and still shelling out another $500,000. The only question I have, just from a budget standpoint, any concerns about, obviously this money would likely come out of our reserve for fire, so any concerns there as far as that money coming out of there?
I don't have any concerns. That's why we have the unencumbered, is for situations like this or capital projects.
And that still leaves us with still a fairly healthy reserve in our fire. Unencumbered.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to replace that truck typically after 20 years or so, you get a brand new truck for another 20, 25 years. What's the standard replacement on an engine? I know there's a bunch of criteria, but
How much? You're asking how much?
yeah, when do you? What's the standard? How often do you replace an engine?
Oh, I'm sorry, 20 to 25 years on an engine.
Yeah. And if you're getting the same, you're getting basically the same drivetrain and same pumps and everything else is the same. So you got a new chassis and a new body and everything else.
Right.
And it just makes more sense to me from a maintenance standpoint as well. And I think it's a good deal. You get a brand new fire truck essentially 150-ish or so
Right.
thousand, as opposed to what's the full replacement cost or something like that
So to replace
Today.
that truck would be 680 today.
today. In 10 years, that could be 750.
Right.
You
And,
have to set
and,
money aside for that.
and some of the numbers that I'm working with now, so we're obviously working with Harry Suffin on going with the Suffin, which all of our equipment is pretty much in line, is Suffin, and, so it just seemed logical to go through Suffin as well. But the numbers I'm working with him so far are in the low 600s, so.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of echo those thoughts. It's, when you look at it just from purely a number standpoint, if we're somewhere a third of the way through, or closing on half of the life of the current vehicle, it's $600 and something thousand new, you know, you're talking $300,000, but we have an opportunity to reset the clock and have a new vehicle for a fraction of that
Right.
amount of money. When you, not to get too crazy banker term, but time value of money, it's a win. And I like, something we haven't discussed is gonna set the new truck up with a larger water tank, and be more effective in the part of the community that it serves.
Right.
When we do have structure fires, it's gonna, you know, be better prepared to fight a fire. You know, I know we use it probably more from a quantity standpoint on EMS runs, but I like the idea that when it's showing up to fight a fire, it's gonna be better equipped to do so from a water standpoint. I think there's some value in that as well.
If I can jump into your initial question, so currently our unencumbered's at 2.4 and 10 months of reserve. By purchasing this, I just put right in the middle of 140 to 70,000. We'd be at about 9.5 months of reserve and be down to 2.2 million. So we'd still be in a very comfortable shape.
And realistically, we're also in the process of selling Station 76, and high-level plans is we really could use those funds for this and even some debt reduction in the new station, and technically not be digging into, you know, current ones.
Yeah, what we're selling the fire station for is about 2 months worth of operating costs. To put another, call it 2 months into your unencumbered. So it should offset pretty nicely.
Do you think you have the direction you need? Good.
I have the direction I need. We're gonna move forward with option 2 and go and let the insurance company know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, being Mr. Weber with the fiscal officer's report.
Yes, thank you. So this is the May financial report for all the revenue and expenditures through the end of May. And so basically that's 42%, you know, through the year. And to date, we've received 54.6% of our budgeted revenue. So we're ahead of schedule on that. You know, we've received the first property tax settlement in April, and we received also in May, part of that revenue is the homestead property settlement, tax settlement too, which is a lesser amount, but obviously that helps as well. That pushed us over that, you know, that 54% range, which, you know, we're only 42% through the year. And then expense-wise, we are at a little over 40%, you know, through the end of May. So there again, right where we want to be. Just to give an idea, year-to-date revenue is a little over 6.6 million. Year-to-date expenditures is a little over 5.4 million. So nicely done there. And total cash balance of all, you know, funds is a little over $12.36 million. And then also that's in the spreadsheet that you've seen, and then also attached is the cash flow summary by fund. You know, just kind of going through the big ones, the ones that have, you know, substantial amounts. You got a little over $2 million in your general fund. You've got about $250,000 in your license plate fund, and that's, you know, that's the revenue we received. Like in May, it was $3,000 there, and generally it's in the $5,000 to $7,000 range. So yeah, it's pointed out before, it's not a large amount of our revenue, but it's, you know, it's down a little bit. So, gas tax, we get about, you know, between $27,000 and $30,000 a month, and we got 27,000. So it's thought it may be down a little bit more than that, but as we talked before, sometimes that, you know, is 60 days behind or so. But we got 530,000 in the gas tax fund, road and bridge fund, a little over $1.5 million in there. And then police fund, we've got a little over $2.7 million. And let's see, let's look at more here. The permissive license plate, which is the $5 that you all put on in the past sometime. 523,000 is that revenue, or excuse me, is that balance? Excuse me. And then the fire fund, we mentioned the little over 2.2 million in reserves. The cash balance in the fire fund is a little over 3.3 million right now. And then the EMS billing fund, which just collects that revenue, is 420,000. We're a little over that, so I think that's it. Road levy. I tried to forget the road levy fund. Yes, very important there, as it helps us resurface our roads. That's a little over $515,000. So it's, from my perspective, everything looks really good.
Any questions, or Mr. Weber? All right. Thank you, Mr. Weber.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and move on to the administrator's report. Mr. Centers.
I only have a couple items tonight. The Warren County Community Development Block Grants came out. Again, we didn't qualify for any. We looked into them, we tried. I called up, and based on our residents' median household income, we didn't qualify again for any part other than down on Elizabeth Street where there were no projects. So we're always looking, we're always trying, but even here, right at Warren County grants, we didn't qualify, so we're always looking, but a little difficult sometimes. Sale of the firehouse, that's snagged a little hiccup regarding some old fuel tanks that were there prior to, so the purchaser, their lending agent needs a phase 1 done. So if we were to do it, it'd be $2,150 to do that phase 1 environmental. If it were to go further than that, it would go into stage 2, but I need to make sure you guys are okay with that. They actually, late this afternoon, came and said that they have some paperwork on their end, that if they move forward with it, they can do it for $1,500 because they already have some of the paperwork on that site. So just want to make sure you're okay with moving forward with that, even if it does go into phase 2. If it's anything over $5,000, I'm going to bring it to you guys anyway, but so we can go ahead and move in that direction.
No, I'm good with moving in that direction. I think for $1,500 to keep that going, I think that's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an event uncommon for that type of property, you know, its age and for the dollar amount, it's just kind of a normal part of a transaction like that. Buyers still interested and want to move forward, so I see no reason that we would not do that.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I've been through this.
Chief, did I miss anything that you wanted to add in on that, or you got a good direction?
That's cheap.
Okay. And then finally, our Director of Economic Development and Zoning, Alex Kramer, he and his wife had their baby last night, so Kason Kramer, they're going to call him Case, was born about 11 o'clock last night, and mother and baby are both healthy, so that's all I have.
All right, with that, we'll go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Ernst. And with that, we will go ahead and move on to trustee comments. Mr. Rowley?
You know, not a whole lot. I just, with the events of the past couple of weeks, I just want to recognize our department for its community outreach. I see the posts on Facebook. If there's anything that's needed as a result of what the governor put out today, you know, I'm supportive of it, as with everybody else. So keep it simple tonight, but well done.
Thank you.
I just hit a couple items. Just want to reiterate Mr. Centers said congratulations to Alex and Courtney, their new child. Rest up now, because we'll need it later, for sure. And I do have a couple of kudos I want to pass along. One is actually Sergeant Rector. He doesn't even know that he was coming through my neighborhood, and I happened to be pulling out going to baseball and pulled right behind the truck. And he's just trying to, in a rush to get to baseball, and he's just coming down, cruising down the street, but he's waving to every kid in the street. He's saying hi, waving to the neighbors. This was a couple days ago, actually. And it was just good to see. I know, like Mr. Rossi stated, there's a lot of tension and things going on, a lot of things that the police department's dealing with. And just to still to be that aware, to continue to reach out to our community. And he had a smile. I could see it being behind. I could see it right in the mirror. Smiling, just waving, just that community outreach. I think that's something that that we do well here in Hamilton Township, and I know the community appreciates it. And I just want to recognize it, especially since I had a backseat view of it, so to speak. And then also too, a little birdie told me, Mr. Centers, you went above and beyond Monday. Apparently you were out at Mounts Park, spending a few hours cutting the grass and in your suit and tie, and getting that done. So I just want to take recognition, just the fact that it's just great that we have, and just employees that care that much about our community, that any one of you I know, and just will step up and just do what it takes to get things done in our township and make sure that we have a great place to live. So I just want to take them up to recognize that and say thank you as well. And with that, I'm sorry, Mr. Sousa, did you have anything this evening?
Yes, Alex, you better not be watching, but if you are, congrats. A couple community updates as to roads. Had Stryker reopened today, day early, satisfied, project went well, no problem, a couple days early. So Stryker Roads reopened, and I think per one of your recent updates, the new bridge work for the patient folks down at the end of Overbrook, that's going to be starting soon and start making some progress. So thank the folks that use that road for their patients in that. I just want to say, I think it's easy to forget about COVID. You know, we're kind of falling back into normal lives a little bit and things reopening, but you are seeing, you know, news and headlines around the country of some flare-ups and things. And this community's done a great job, but you just, you know, keep your head down in regards to that when you're out in the community, and social distance and be smart. And, you know, hopefully good things will continue to come in that area. Last thing I've got is something a little off the beaten path, but we have a little bit of a surprise, I guess I'll say, this evening for our administrator, Mr. Centers. Most are not aware, some may be, but Brent, amongst being a father and a husband and public servant himself and our administrator, has also been in the Ohio Air National Guard for a while, and a few months back received a promotion, and has, as a result of that and a future deployment, has to go do some training, is going to be leaving us for a little bit, not too far down the road. So we just wanted to publicly take a minute, recognize your service, thank you for it, wish you well when you go away. I think it's tremendous, you know, getting to know you and how passionate you are about it in the last few months, in a little bit more of a formal capacity. But let these guys say something, and we have a couple videos from your family to share and a gift for you. So, you know, thank you for your service and everything you do for our community, your family, and the country. Thank you.
Volume 62, 63, 80.
Been married for 9 years, and throughout this time, I've always really enjoyed watching his military career grow. When we first met, he was a senior airman, just trying to get a full-time job at the 180th Fighter Wing, and now he is a master sergeant getting ready to leave for first sergeant school next week. He just absolutely loves serving his country in any capacity possible, and I just am really thankful for that for him. I've never, questioned when he's wanted to go on deployment and everything, because I knew that by him doing so, he was ultimately keeping our family and our country safer. So I really appreciate everything that Brent does, and I appreciate all of the troops that exist out there. So just we'll just take a
next one's gonna get you.
So let me turn it up before I.
Volume 89.
You know what?
Good answer.
Meeting after the meeting.
Best of luck, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it a lot.
Just want to say, appreciate all your service to our country. It means a lot that you're willing to take your time away from your family, your friends, and to put your life on the line and to serve our nation. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the biggest sacrifices you make is leaving those two. So
Yeah,
you should be proud of your accomplishments.
no, I appreciate you guys, and I'm leaving you in good hands, so that makes it a lot easier too.
You wanna open these now, right?
I would, yeah.
On Facebook Live.
Yeah.
From the.
I think you're on camera.
That has you written all over it. Wow. You guys, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Not often speechless. Thank you very much.
All right. With that, I will make a motion to adjourn at 9:02 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry. I was halfway through my military time on the clock. At 7:02 p.m.
Second?
Mr. Cordray?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Sousa?
Yes.
All right, we're adjourned.